Good morning and welcome to another episode of Politics and Power on TSLNigeria TV. Today we're having an exciting guest, Mr. Samuel Miwa Kali, Honorable. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Good to be here.
Samuel is the Executive Secretary of Warri North Local Government in Delta State. It's good to have you, sir.
Thank you very much.
So we are discussing the impact of local government today. And you, because you are in the local government, I believe that you have the experience and you have the knowledge of what is happening in the local government. Do you think that, as constituted currently in Nigeria, that the local governments are in a good position to bring governance closer to the people in Nigeria?
Yeah, well, thank you, my dear brother, Mr. Fares. Local government is supposed to be, as the name implies, local. It's supposed to be for the community, the towns, the locality. But over time, because of the stronghold of the governors on the local government administration, it has been very difficult actually to meet the yearning and aspiration of the people, which they are supposed to, cater for. Being the third tier of government, local government administration is grassrooted as it is in the law. That is supposed to take care of the grassroots, the locality, and the people around that place. But presently, in the Nigerian concept, it has actually, I must confess, truly, it has actually not met, the yearning and aspiration of the locals, the people whom they are supposed to, take care of in the course of government. Well, I won't say the local government has failed completely, because in the early 1913s, it was called a traditional council. Traditional in the sense that it is meant to deal with traditional issues, local issues. So as it evolved to the 1950s and the 1976 and 77, a law came that there shall be local government. Now, is it meeting the needs of the people? Yeah, to an extent, sometimes the people saddled with the responsibility of managing the affairs of the local government, have a whole lot of role to play. A situation whereby the law says once you have WAEC to an extent, you can be local government chairman. But it goes beyond that. These days, the kind of people they give offices or they vote into power to man the local government councils, some of them actually do not see the need to actually bring government closer to the people, which is the main focus of the local government administration. So for now, I would say in totality, because of the strangulation of, or the stronghold of the states on the local government, it has not actually met, the needs of the people. So for now, local government administration is at an all-time low.
Okay, let me take you on the issue of local government autonomy. Over time, we see that the yearnings of people, recommendations from civil society groups and everybody saying, oh, local government should be autonomous. Local government should be autonomous. But what we see in Nigeria today is that we still have so many of the Nigerian states having joint accounts with local government, the state governors still controlling the local government funds and all of that. Do you think that there will ever be a time where local governments in Nigeria will truly become autonomous, which means there will be a government of their own, control their own financial resources and all of that?
Well, that question is very mountainous. Mountainous in the sense that the governors who control the House of Assemblies will not actually allow that to come to play because of the stronghold they have on the local government. Now, there's what we call, in the 1999 Constitution, there's what we call JAC, that is Joint Account Allocation Committee. It involves the state and the local government. Now, when funds are released from FAC to the local government, it's supposed to ordinarily come to the local government. But when it comes, it goes to the state. So you have to sit down at the state headquarters in government house somewhere to begin to share the allocations to the local level. Now, even at that, some of the governors, they have a stronghold in the sense that after sharing the money to the local government, they have a way of also collecting some of the monies meant for the, for the people back to their coffers. So that is why it is going to be very difficult. It's actually a mountainous process for the governors to leave the local government to be autonomous. But like I always say, if the local government are autonomous, which is actually the best for the people, I'm not sure anybody will want to go to House of Assembly, anybody will not want to be commissioner, everybody wants to go and be local government chairman because you have a lot of resources and you have a lot of things, you know, if you have a lot of things to do, you have the resources to, you know, to access to do those things. So for now, it is a mirage, you know, we are judging by the stronghold the governors have on the local government councils.
The Constitution of Nigeria is very clear, very ambiguous in terms of what it says the functions of local governments are. It also prescribes what and ways the local government would raise revenue. But what we see in states are a situation whereby what the Constitution says for the local government to get their revenue is what most states are using now to raise revenue for themselves. The states have hijacked it. Look at, for example, it says that, you know, in petty shops, small shops are supposed to be controlled by the local governments. The revenue from small shops.
Motor parks.
Yes, motor parks. But we see in so many states that motor parks are controlled by the states, small shops are controlled by the states, and all of that. You know, so should there be a system that clearly identifies the boundaries of a state in terms of revenues and that of a local government in terms of revenues?
Yeah, you rightly said that according to the 1999 Constitution as amended, the fourth schedule says that local government are supposed to be in charge of motor parks, markets, small shops, cemeteries, you know, but as it is today, when the government comes on board, because of political patronage, you know, they hijack what the local government is supposed to be doing and give to, you know, to appease some of these political gladiators that supported them in the course of, you know, running for elections. But that is not supposed to be like that. The laws are quite explicit. But in Nigeria today, they will make laws for the good of the people. You have people usurping the powers of the Constitution. So therefore, the local government chairmen who are basically brought on board by the governors, you know, have little or no contribution to, you know, to face the government and tell them that, excuse me, sir, please, sir, this is our jurisdiction. You know, you don't dare ask the governor's question because they have the power to hire and fire. So if you don't play to what they want, you know, you have yourself to blame. So that is why some of these taxes, levies, the local government are supposed to be collected, using to generate revenue to run the affairs of the council, are hijacked by the state without mechanism to actually to refund some of these things to the local government council.
Okay, we'll quickly look at the local government electoral system. That means the state electoral bodies that bring in that conducts the elections for local government councils and all of that. And most states, what we see is a system where the party in power in the particular states will control all of the local governments. I think except in Kaduna State, where the governor actually implemented or tried to implement a voting pattern that was electronic, and then threw up some surprise where the opposition there had about 3 or 4 local governments that it controls. Yeah. But aside that and the FCT, where the elections there are being conducted by INEC, you see a system where every state with their own state electoral bodies conduct these elections, and it's just 99.9% the ruling party that takes all of the seats, except maybe 1 or 2 councillorship positions that are given to the opposition. Do you think that it is time that the state electoral bodies should be scrapped and INEC should conduct all elections in Nigeria, like some people are saying?
Yeah, you know, when a law favors you, you wouldn't want it to be scrapped. When it doesn't favor you, you want to agitate for, you know, for it to be completely abolished. You know, in the states where local government elections are conducted, like my state is a PDP state, those state is a PDP state, it is assumed that most of these local government elections are for political patronage. When you work for me to be governor, and I have the mandate to conduct local government elections, I will certainly use it to reward the people who has, who has brought me on board. So saying that we have DCEC in Delta, Edo has SCEC, the local election umpire. It is going to be very difficult for the governors to concede because it is a way of, patronizing political people who actually supported them in the course of running for elections. So, but for me to suggest that we should allow INEC to come and conduct the election means I don't want to be local government chairman. Because if I want to be local government chairman, I think I will support the idea that DCEC or the local electoral umpires should continue to conduct the elections, because that is the only way, people, can actually get to where they want to go to, politically in the local government level. But if you say INEC should come and conduct it, it is also good, but it will throw a lot of things open for people who wants to aspire. But the truth is that it is also good that I want to support that INEC should be party to the conduct of local government elections. Because so far so good, because of the BVAS, bimodal voting accreditation system that has just been introduced. It gives popular candidates or popular aspirants hope that they can actually man political offices without interference, from political bigwigs in some of these states. So to me, supporting INEC to be part of the process, to me, in where we come from, this area, it's completely a mirage. It's not going to work. Okay,
let's look at a very serious issue within the local government system in Nigeria, which is corruption. There is serious corruption in governance in Nigeria. The whole governance structure in Nigeria would be the federal, the state, or the local government level. So what do you think has been the most pressing issues in the local governments in respect of corruption? Because in so many local governments today, there is very little accountability. In most states, the governors have banned the local government chairmen from borrowing money, because the money they borrow, they are not accounted for. Many of them cannot account for those money. Mainly in the north, people are local government, they become local government chairmen, and the next thing they start marrying more wives and all of that. So do you think that the local government, the corruption in local government has been critically assessed in terms of how it affects the local people?
Well, corruption is not actually a predominantly local government thing in Nigeria. There is a saying that the people waiting to steal are more than those already stealing. So corruption is something that is in the fabrics of the Nigerian society. It has nothing really to do with local government. But the major problem that you rightly outlined, that is actually bedeviling, what the local government should be doing is complete corruption. Where a local government will get an allocation of 200 million, 150 million, maybe you pay workers' salary, 50 million, you still have about 100 million to play with. For God's sake, people are elected to work for the people. Now, I have this opinion that most of the people they make local government chairmen, most of them were poor before they gave them offices. Now, when they enter the office, all they think to do is just to acquire, and loot the people's common patrimony. They don't think of where they are coming from, because they don't want to go back to where they are coming from. All they think to do is to. But I want to also appeal that the anti-graft agencies should critically look at the local government level, because the corruption at the local government level is alarming. Because there are tiers of government. If you steal one manning local government position, when they elevate you to maybe the state level, you continue your mindless looting. When you go to the federal level, you increase on, so it is like things that are raised to power, from power 1, power 2 to power 3. So it continues to, to accelerate. People that are mathematicians, it continues to accelerate, So, but the truth is that corruption is the cankerworm actually the cankerworm eating the local government councils, because people are supposed to come and work and serve the people. Rather than serve the people, you are serving your pocket. In as much as you want to serve your pocket, you can serve the people and still serve your pocket. But you are not even serving anybody, you are serving your pocket. So, my dear brother Fares, it is quite a pain for us to, you know, to sit down here and talk of corruption, because corruption in the Nigerian system, it is those waiting to steal are more than those already stealing. A situation whereby they will tell you that termites ate 17 billion naira vouchers. And the vouchers, like in local governments, they use vouchers to process money. So some of these local government chairmen can just wake up and tell you too that since it's happening at the federal level, it can also happen. We have rabbits and rats eating vouchers, which people are supposed to use to account for what has left the local government council. So corruption is the major problem, while most of the local government council chairmen are not performing. It is that.
Okay, but let me throw you back a little bit. If you look at the local government system, some years ago, particularly I did in my master's class, I did a course on the local government itself, and in the 50s, the local government was more structured, and they performed better. Local governments actually performed better in the 50s, and then in the time of the military, maybe in the late 70s or thereabout, when you had the military government, and then you have the local government also, because the local governments were not dissolved at some certain time. The local governments were quite functional. They had roads, they built roads, they provided water, you know, in so many areas. So what has changed within that time and now? Now that we have democracy, you see that the local government administration in Nigeria is in near total collapse. What has changed between the 50s, the 70s, and now? Is it like the democratic dispensation hasn't really favored the local government system in Nigeria, or what has really changed?
The major thing that I will also highlight is corruption. You know, back in the 50s, people were happy to serve. If you are given an opportunity to serve, you serve the people, not your pockets. So now, with the kind of lifestyle a lot of people live, once you put them in political positions, to maintain that standard, they have to loot. Now, when you are looting, it's affecting the local government council. The monies you're supposed to use to, like I am from a riverine area. Worry North is 90% riverine and about 10% urban. Now, most of the projects you are to do in that riverine community is people-oriented projects. They need walkway, they need jetties, they need toilets, they need housing. You know, now you have opportunity to do all those things. You don't do them. And money comes. What do you do with the monies? If you are not looting the money, you are servicing godfathers. If you are not servicing godfathers, you know, you are putting the money in other things. So the issue is that in the local government law, local government these days, according to what has changed, is simple. Local government law now is that what the only function they do is to maintain street lights, according to the local government law. To maintain street lights, to, you know, to take care of cemeteries, to remove broken down vehicles from the road, you know, to maintain roads. The local government law guiding the local government these days didn't give the local government, you know, the authority to construct road. It didn't say they should build a shopping mall. It didn't say so. You know, the jobs of the local government is limited. Everything has now gone to the state and the federal level. So only what is just the pockets of little things that is what local governments actually.
When you say that the local government laws does not empower the local government to build roads, that's a bit surprising to me, because we've seen situations where local governments chairmen or local government administrations in Nigeria, particularly in the South, they engage in massive road projects. And oftentimes you have people who are manning the local government start up projects that they will not complete, that they will not finish. So I would like you to talk more on the aspect of local government. What kind of projects do the local government really embark on? What kind of projects should the local government be doing? All of that. So let's have a take on that.
Yeah, my brother. The local government law, actually 2013 or to 2017 as amended by law in Delta, actually gives the local government the room to build health centers. You can build markets. You can build cemeteries. You can take care of street lights. You know, you can patch, you know, bad portions of the road. But local government, with their minimal allocation, cannot actually embark, because where we are from is a riverine area. You cannot construct, the local government cannot construct road in the riverine area, because it is times 3 or times 4 of what they will use to construct road, you know, in the cities.
So you can build schools as well.
Yeah,
We've seen situations in your own local government, for example, where some of these schools are in very dilapidating conditions.
No, in my local government, my dear brother, there are no schools that are dilapidated. Schools are not supposed to be built by local government. It is not in the law for local government to build schools.
For local government are paying teachers.
Yes. Local governments can build health centers. You know, but the truth is that local government pay teachers. Government build the schools, either through SUBEB or UBEC and the rest. But the job of local government is to pay primary school teachers, not secondary school. We can't even, the law does not even provide that local government should buy chairs for schools. What we have to do to primary school teachers is just to pay. We don't build schools.
So I'm kind of taking aback on why you have a law that empowers an institution, a government institution, because a government entity, because the local government is a government entity on its own, independent, and the same law will now restrict the same government from providing the basic necessities like roads. So I don't understand what kind of law will restrict a local government from, if you have the resources in your local government to build a road, why wouldn't the local government build the roads?
Oh yeah. Before now, we've had a local government chairman that constructed about 2 to 3 kilometer road in Cocoa. You know, but if we have the resources, we can actually embark on road projects because we have the resources to. You know, we don't want things to inconvenience. If people come to us and say, please, we need this road to be done. If we have the resources, we can do it before the state government comes. Ordinarily, the function of the local government is to build health centers, take care of street lights. You know, we can pass roads, but embarking on road construction, it is mountainous for us to do because it is not part of what we should be doing at the very, except there is an amended law to what the local government should be doing. For now, that it stops there.
So how do you think that going forward, that local governments can be in a stronger position to serve the Nigerian people?
Yeah, we have always argued that the only way is to give the local government autonomy, where allocations come directly from FAC to the local government.
But some states government will tell you that their local governments have been given some level of autonomy.
Yeah, some level of autonomy, you said some, is restricted. And you cannot, when you have a complete autonomy, that is when you have the powers to do what you want to do. But when you have some, it is still limited. And some of the governors, as it may be, can say, okay, you have 100 million, you have 200 million, bring some back to us. You know, but the local government chairman who are you know, handicapped cannot question some of the authorities of governors in some of these states. So what they do is to dance to the gallery of what the governors want. You know, so except there is an autonomy, which I think is as high as climbing the mountain Kilimanjaro. You know, the local government is not going to function too well. But I also note that, like I said, it also depends on the people manning the local government councils. We have had local government chairman in my local government. Our predecessor built a jetty, a very massive jetty of about 70-something million from local government council. He built health centers in some of the riverine communities. He did walkway in some of the riverine communities. So these things are possible. But to strangulate the local government, because we have a lot of wage bill, to pay. Like in my local government, we have about 520 staff to pay. We pay monthly. And that is about 60-something million. Once you pay 60-something million, then you now pay the health workers, the teachers, about 20-something million. That's about 90-something million. So what you have left is not even enough, to embark on some of these projects. You just have to.
Another thing we see, because we don't have time, we see with local government is an overblated workforce. Like you have a local government where you just have people on the payroll doing virtually nothing. You've seen it in so many local governments. People many of them don't even come to work, but they are on the payroll. I think the last administration in those states tried to narrow down the wage bills of so many local governments. So do you think that's the problem also, just having an overbloated workforce? Because, for example, you said the local government can tar roads. The local government can do so many of these. If the local government system is working like you have the councils in the UK, for example, where many of those roles that are being tied or fixed by the local government are done by the local government staff. It's not like you have to contract it to contractors. You have people within the local government who are employed, who go out every day fixing potholes and all of that. Do you think that that would make the local government more useful to the people?
Yeah, I'll use my local government as an example. When we came on board, because we discovered that we had too many people in the local government. When you come to work, most times you don't see a lot of persons. So we had to do verification to know if these 520-something staff are ours. On the day of verification, you'll be surprised that you see the complete 520 staff coming for verification. But on Monday to Fridays, you will see less than 20 to 30 people, at work. So where do those people come from? You discover that because of politics, when you even have mind to remove some of these people who are not even effective or are not doing it. Some are in Lagos, some are in London, some are in America, but they're still collecting salaries. But when you call for verification, you see them on ground. How do you now remove them when some of them they were brought by political godfathers, in the local government? So it will be like you are fighting some people, to the betterment of your local government. So what you do is to try and manage, some of these things. So my brother, it is a systemic problem that we can actually now address, at least for now.
So do you actually think that in your local government, for example, that the 500 or something people that you have in your local government are actually providing service to the people of your local government?
Yeah, well, in my local government,
I'm talking about the people you have in your payroll.
In my local government, we have 10 departments. It will take the departmental head to complain that these people are useless. They don't need them in the local government anymore because they're not doing anything. But you will not see that situation, that kind of scenario.
So is there a system for retrenching workers or sacking people?
No, it is difficult to sack because once you want to sack, you have to go to the local government service commission. Sacking a government staff is the most difficult thing to do. You can actually give them query, they go to commission and answer the query. But it is difficult to fire local.
So what's the process for employing? Because if the process for employing is not as difficult as the process for sacking, then why should it be so difficult to remove somebody who is ineffective to a particular system?
Well, like I said, it is a systemic failure. And you can't just come into government and begin to fight the system, even if you know that some of these things are not working. You just do your time and go. And because if you want to, you only have to be a governor to do some of these things. But in local government council level, you cannot. You just manage the system. When your time elapses, you pack your bag and go.
So a lot of people are arguing that the local government system in Nigeria is completely ineffective. That the states have taken over most of the functions of the local government, and in that case, local government administration in Nigeria should be scrapped. Do you buy into that argument?
Well, I don't think it should be scrapped because local government didn't start today. Like I said, it used to be a traditional council in the 1913s before it evolved to 1950s and the 1970s. So saying we should scrap what actually belongs to the locals. In my own local government, people don't see the governor. They see me. They see my local government chairman as a representative of the government. We are the closest to the grassroots. People, if you have problems in the grassroots, they can't go to the governor. They can't go to the state. They can't go to Asaba or come to Benin. People that are in Uzeba or Sabo and the rest of them. So they see the local government as their first point of call to reaching the state government. So you can't actually say it isn't completely useless. It's just when there's financial autonomy for the local government, you see the vibrancy of what the local government is supposed to be. But for now, it is very well. I encourage the local government to continue.
Thank you, Honorable Kali. That's all we can take for today.
Oh, thank you, my dear brother.
Please do well to follow our Facebook pages and our YouTube page. Click on the notification. We'll see you on Monday. Bye-bye.